Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about something that is deeply desired by so many people, and that's instant wealth. I'm talking about a life of immediate financial ease, where abundance flows to you quickly, freely, and without struggle. The kind of wealth that just shows up, not because you worked harder, not because you finally figured it all out, but because something within you shifted. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how to shift into the reality where instant wealth is not only possible, but natural. Let's begin with a fundamental truth. If you've been watching my videos, you've heard me say this many times already, but I'll say it again. Absolutely everything in this world is forming itself based on your assumptions, every single little bit of it. And so if you're assuming a worldview where the way wealth and prosperity works is that there's a shortage of money, that there isn't enough to go around for everyone, that it's really difficult to get money, that you often have to spend time doing things you don't like and things that you don't want to do in order to earn money, and that having prosperity and well-being is dependent on being one of the lucky few who manage to get a big lump sum into their bank account, well, then you're causing the world to function in this way. And this will be your experience of how money works. But what if you adopted a different worldview? What if you could give life to a world in which money functions in a very different way to the one that we just talked about? This is what I'm going to invite you to explore in this video. And what I want you to do is to start thinking of money as being like water. Yes, I did say water. Let me explain why. Think about the nature of water. It's something that there's an endless supply of. There's a huge abundance of it in the world. Nobody actually owns water as such. It's just something that exists freely in the world. And we all use it daily. It comes into our homes and it temporarily becomes ours for a short period of time while we're using it. When we open the tap and fill up a glass, that now becomes my glass of water. And then I drink it and it goes through my body. And then eventually it gets processed by nature and goes back into the system and becomes part of the body of water that exists in the world again. And then whenever I need some water again, I go back to the tap and get some more water, and on it goes. So there's an endless supply of it. It's not like if I'm really thirsty today and I drink lots of water, then other people have to make do with less water. That's not how it works. There's more than enough for everybody to drink as much as they like. And I don't need to store up tons and tons of water in my backyard to make sure I'll have enough to last me a lifetime. I know that there's the tap, and however much I want to drink today, I can go and drink it. And there will be as much water as I need again tomorrow. And again the day after. And the day after that. So I don't need to go and store it up and hoard it and make sure other people don't get their hands on my water, because there's an abundance of it. There's plenty to go around for everyone. And we can all use as much as we need. And as we use it, it then flows back into the system and becomes available for others to use. And this never-ending cycle, this lovely flow, where everyone is getting as much water as they want and need with no limitations or restrictions whatsoever. Now, if we explore this concept of water a bit further, if we look at the way water operates, not just with us humans, but in nature as well. If we look at plants and trees, for example, they're not doing anything to earn water, are they? They just sit there doing their thing, being plants, growing leaves and flowers and all the rest of it, depending on what their own particular nature is, just being themselves and growing into whatever they're meant to grow into. And Mother Earth just automatically provides them with all the nutrients and all the water they need. They don't need to sit there figuring out where they're going to find water. They just very naturally follow their innate nature and they are automatically provided with all the resources they need to be able to flourish and to become what they're meant to become and produce what they're meant to produce. Now, what if your experience of money can be very similar to this? What if you could live in a world that functions in this way, where you get to be who you're meant to be and do what you're meant to do, the things that come naturally to you, the things that you actually enjoy doing, and money flows to you as a natural part of this setup, where everything you need is being provided to you to nourish you and nurture you and to bring you all the resources you need and to allow you to grow and thrive and flourish, simply as a natural consequence of being part of this ecosystem, of being part of humanity, where everything is being orchestrated in such a way that everyone is naturally being provided with everything they need. And in turn, producing what they're meant to produce. And it all becomes this lovely exchange where everyone is giving and receiving and everyone is always getting what they need and no one has to go without. Now you might be thinking, that sounds great, but that's not realistic. That's not how the world is. Money isn't just going to flow to me out of nowhere. Nobody's going to just give me money for no reason. I can't just open a tap and have money flow out of it. Well, the very fact that you're so convinced is exactly why reality is the way it is. You are causing it to be that way because you're so convinced that this is how it works. But this is just one option. It's not the only option. The reality that I'm inviting you into, the one where money functions like water, is absolutely just as available to you as the one where money is hard to come by. I know, because this is the reality that I live in. This is how money functions in my world. I spend my days being who I'm meant to be and doing what I'm meant to do, and money flows into my life very naturally as part of that. Now, just because I'm using myself as an example, where I'm doing something that you could classify as work, and there's a stream of income that is coming to me as a result of that work, don't take it to mean that this is the only way that money can come to you if you operate in this way. If you do let yourself start to see money as functioning like water, then the whole infinite intelligence that is orchestrating everything in the whole world will line things up in a way that is absolutely ideal for you and ideal for everyone else as well. It doesn't have to be a linear relationship like it is in my case, where I'm doing an activity and getting paid for it. It all depends on what is genuinely what you're meant to be doing during this season of your life, based on your personality, your interests, your qualities, your desires, what truly fulfills you and how you actually deep down genuinely want to be spending your days. It may be that what you're meant to do at this point in your life is to raise a family. It may be that you're meant to retire and slow down and work less. It may be that you're meant to learn a new skill. Whatever it is, if you give yourself permission to operate in this way and you trust the source to provide you with what you need, then it will orchestrate things in such a way that you will have all the money you need in a way that is easy and effortless for you and that feels fulfilling and enjoyable to you. It's only if you let yourself go back into the worldview of thinking that this just isn't possible, that this isn't how it works, that you'll go back to putting all that unwanted lack and limitation and restriction and difficulty back in place. But it's always a choice in the moment. Which world do I want to be in? Which reality do I choose to dwell in? How do I choose that money functions in the world? And whichever world you choose, it will operate in that way. I know it seems inconceivable that you could possibly have that much power and that you can influence how the whole economy works, but I promise you that knowingly or unknowingly, you are the one choosing how things are. So it makes sense to choose that things function the way you prefer, rather than the way that you don't prefer, doesn't it? So you see, the way to get instant wealth isn't to somehow find a way to get a large amount of money into your bank account. It's actually a lot simpler than that. It's just a case of shifting into a reality where the infinite and abundant supply of money is already there, and then allowing yourself to be part of that divine flow, where everything that you want and need is coming to you very easily. And when I say that this is the way to instant wealth, I really do mean instant. You can shift into it right now, today. And if you do that, then immediately you will start being able to have everything that you want and need provided to you today. Not necessarily because a large sum of money miraculously shows up, although it might come that way, but the real reason is because lack just disappears. And everything that you genuinely want and need today will get fulfilled straight away. You'll no longer have to make do without the things you want and need because of a lack of money, because if you shift into this state, then the moment you notice that there's something you want, you will immediately know that you can have it. And you will be open to all the possibilities that what you want can come to you. And so it really will come to you. Just like when you're thirsty, you can just go to the tap and fill up a glass of water and have a drink. That's how easy it can be if you're willing to let yourself move into a reality where it is this easy. It really is completely up to you. The possibility is there. It's just waiting for you to choose it and step into it. So what do you think? Are you going to come and join me in this world where money is free-flowing and everyone gets provided with what they want and need very easily? It's much nicer over here, you know. So if I were you, I would come and take a look. I'm sure that if you do, you'll never want to go back to the old reality ever again, because it really is so much lovelier when you get to live like this. And I want more people to come and join me, so that we can be an example of what's possible. And so that we can spread that love and joy and prosperity and well-being all around us. And more people will be infected by it and want to come and join in. And eventually we'll shift the whole world into one where we're all cooperating with each other in this beautiful way. Because in my view, this is how it's meant to be. This is what life is supposed to be like. And it's my intention to gently move the world away from all the conflict and limitation and into this much more abundant and prosperous way of being, where humanity as a whole is moving more and more into alignment with the infinite oneness that is our true nature. How does that sound? Have I tempted you to come over and join me in this world of abundance and infinite supply? Are you willing to make a decision to leave that world of limitation behind and to move into this world where you're infinitely loved, where you're always completely supported and provided for, and where you are one with the infinite source that loves you more than you could ever imagine? Are you in? Let me know in the comments. Okay, and on that note, that is it from me for today. Please subscribe if you want more like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.